Hi everyone, it's Ashley, one of your Phonak heroes, and for today's vlog I thought that we could talk a little bit about what I would have told my younger self. I think this is something that everybody thinks about. There's a country song, for those of you who may be a country fan, by Brad Paisley that's called Letter to Me, and he basically talks about if he could write a letter to himself, what he would tell himself at 17. And that song always kind of stuck out as something that, I've done that before, where I'm like, what would I, tell myself at a younger age. I think every, decade as you get older, you learn lessons that you want to tell your younger self. And I recently started thinking about that as it pertains to my hearing loss specifically, and, this journey that I've been on to self-acceptance and recognizing self-worth and self-love. And I think that there's basically 3 things that I would tell myself. The first being, your hearing loss is your superpower. Don't be afraid to embrace it, and don't hide behind that. Feel free to wear your hair up, show off your Phonak hearing aids, and let people in, let them explore your experience and understand from you what you're going through, and that yes, people will be mean, but you still have something that people want to know about and want to understand, and you have something to share with the world, so go for it. And I think spinning off of that, the second thing I would tell myself is to not be afraid to ask for help. I have so many people in my corner, always have, and I wish I would have allowed them to give me the support that I needed. Life is not meant to be done alone, and this is a long journey ahead of you, and the battles are gonna continue. And so, allowing your family and your friends to help you when you need it, your teachers, your employers, anybody, let them be that assistance for you. And the third thing would be make an effort to find others like you, people who have hearing loss or wear hearing aids, or understand some of your daily struggles. And I think what I personally struggled with when I was younger was not necessarily knowing where to find those people. And I think that's one of the great things about social media today, is that it gives people a little bit more of a platform to connect with others. Whereas because I went to a mainstream school, I didn't know anybody else that were hearing aids. The only other people I knew that were hearing aids were old people. And so I didn't know anyone else who was born with the hearing loss and had been dealing with it their whole life until I joined the women's national deaf soccer team. And so I think it's incredible that so many people now have more access to other people like them, and that's why I'm so grateful for a community like Hearing Like Me. And I would definitely encourage my younger self to continue to find those resources, talk to my audiologist, or ask my parents, or guidance counselors, if there was some way to connect with others, and be able to have someone else to connect with, who understands the ins and outs of being a hearing aid wearer, or dealing with hearing loss on a daily basis. But I think it's really cool that we can think about the things that we would tell our younger selves, but I think that also shapes how we got to where we are today. So I don't necessarily wish that all of these things were things I could go back to, but I would definitely encourage people in the future to consider some of these ideas. And everybody's journey is different, everybody's path is different, and that's part of what makes this community so special. So thanks for listening. Let me know what you think.